All right, let's talk about one of the coolest, most ambitious ideas in the entire electric vehicle space, NIO's battery swapping tech. I mean, the vision was huge, right? A universal standard where basically any EV could just pop in, swap its battery, and be on its way in minutes. But that grand dream has slammed into some pretty tough realities. So let's get into what's really going on. Okay, so you might be thinking, if this idea is so brilliant, why isn't every car company on the planet lining up to get a piece of it? That's the big question we're going to tackle. What's the holdup here? The answer actually pulls back the curtain on some fascinating and kind of brutal challenges inside the auto industry.
First, let's just take a moment and appreciate how incredible this dream really is. I mean, seriously, imagine a world where range anxiety is just gone. Not just for people who own a NIO, but for literally everyone driving an EV. And this was the ultimate pitch in all its simple glory. One single standardized battery pack that could just slot into any compatible car. You pull into a station, a robot does its thing, and boom, you're out in a few minutes with a full charge. It sounds perfect. But yeah, as it turns out, it's nowhere near that simple. You know, the funny thing is, the first major roadblock wasn't even with an external partner. Nope, the problem started right inside NIO's own house. That idea of one universal battery for all their cars, it pretty quickly turned out to be a total pipe dream. So here's how it all went down. You've got NIO's main brand, right? The premium, high-performance cars. And then they launched Onvo, their new, more affordable brand for families. Now, common sense would say, hey, use the same battery for both. Let's build out the network. Well, the two teams had a huge, serious debate about it, and they decided against it. And this right here shows you exactly why they just couldn't make it work. Their priorities are polar opposites. Think about it. NIO's big, heavy performance cars like the ET9, they need a battery that can deliver a massive, stable amount of power. But for an affordable family car from Onvo, that exact same battery is just complete overkill. It's too powerful and way, way too expensive. You'd end up in a situation where either the Onvo customer is paying a fortune for performance they don't need, or the NIO customer gets a weaker battery that can't deliver what they paid for. It's a compromise that makes nobody happy. So, if making a standard battery is a huge challenge inside just one company, you can only imagine how much harder it gets when you try to bring other car manufacturers into the fold. For any potential partner, this whole thing creates a massive design dilemma.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. For a company like Geely or Chang'an to join NIO's swap network, they can't just, tweak their existing cars. It's not a simple plug-and-play fix. It means they have to fundamentally re-engineer their entire vehicle. Let's break down what that really means. First, a partner has to pick a side. Are they building around NIO's expensive performance pack or the more budget-friendly Onvo pack? Then they have to completely scrap their car's chassis and design a new one from scratch just to make that battery fit. We're talking about a colossal investment of time, money, and engineering talent, all just to fit a competitor's system. It's a huge, huge ask. But okay, let's just say a company is actually willing to do all that heavy lifting on the engineering side. Well, there's an even bigger, more emotional hurdle that has turned out to be the real deal breaker here, and that's branding.
I mean, it's a totally fair question, right? You've got a powerhouse like Mercedes. If they wanted to offer their customers battery swapping, why not just partner with the one company that's already built out all the infrastructure? Well, the answer comes down to one very, very visible problem. And there it is. That NIO logo is on every single swap station. So by joining the network, another car brand is basically forced to tell its own customers, hey, for your energy needs, please go to our direct competitor's location. It's a crazy conflict of interest, and it's basically free advertising for NIO.
And look, this isn't just a theory. The story goes that when Mercedes actually explored a partnership, they wanted to put the Mercedes logo on the swap stations. And NIO, you can't blame them, said absolutely not. Why would they ever let a partner come in and take credit for their core technology? And just like that, the deal fell apart.
This analogy just makes it crystal clear. Could you ever, in a million years, imagine BMW building a global network of gas stations, and then Mercedes telling all of its customers to go fill up under a giant BMW sign? No way, it would never happen. It's the exact same logic here, and it's a fundamental business conflict. So given all of these massive hurdles, the internal compromises, the huge engineering lift for partners, and of course, the branding wars, the whole thinking around what the battery swap network is for has started to shift. Its purpose is being totally recalibrated. Now, to understand this shift, we got to talk about this concept called a business moat. Think of an actual moat around a castle. It's a unique advantage that a company builds that is super difficult for any competitor to copy. It protects their business, it keeps them safe. And this brings us right to the key strategic shift. The battery swap network is being seen less as a separate, profitable utility for everyone and more as NIO's own private moat. It's the killer feature, the unique selling point that makes you choose a NIO over another brand. Its main job isn't to make money from other car companies, its main job is to sell more NIOs, period. And so that leaves us with this final, really interesting thought. The original dream was this wide-open public utility for all electric vehicles. But the hard reality of business, engineering, and branding might just mean that its true power lies in being a private fortress, an exclusive advantage that makes NIO totally unique. So which path will create more value in the long run? That's the question the entire industry is watching very, very closely.